Live. Hello, everyone. I am Kim Roberts, and I am here today with Dorina Kors, the space doula, and I'm so excited to be chatting with her about a practice that she does called Feng Shui, as well as other practices. But I learned about her from her Feng Shui challenge, and I wanted to take time to talk a bit more about what she does. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes and wait and see if some people join in. And so just thank you so much for being here with me today, Dorina.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so I discovered Dorina through a 5-day Feng Shui challenge, which was quite interesting. It's a practice that I have done in previous times as a hobbyist. I'm just a hobbyist Feng Shui practitioner over the years. I've had many, many, many homes, and I enjoyed the opportunity to dive a little bit deeper. And so just before I start asking, I swear this is going to be more Dorina talking than me, but I want to just share a bit about her as by way of introduction. Dorina is better known as the space doula, and she has been exploring the fusion of feng shui, space clearing, and intuitive coaching for the past couple of decades in order to help people shift the momentum in their lives. Her work has been featured in Better Homes and Garden, Yoga Journal, and on the Hay House Radio podcast, as well as the Unity Radio podcast. And she's also spoken at several conferences that are the Lynn Academy Ancient Secrets Present Alchemy International Conference and the annual conference in 2021 of the National Association of Productivity and Organizing Professionals. Don't we all need that? She is a certified practitioner of Feng Shui and space clearing and a certified clutter clearing coach from the Lynn method and a soul coaching practitioner. And she's also a fellow Cancerian, which is, I think, why this practice speaks to me so much. I am a Cancer sun as well. And, we're all about the home here. So, it's important. And what's fascinating to me in my publication, Art of Awakening, I'm really here to help people wake up to the reality of the present moment. And you can take that on so many levels. You can take it as opposed to, waking versus sleeping or dreaming. But you can also take it from, my background is as a Buddhist practitioner and yoga teacher. And so waking up to the nature of mind is really what I that's where I like to dwell. And so I wanted to find out from Dorina what the practice of Feng Shui is about. And so take it away, Dorina. Tell us first of all, how you got into this and what is this practice?
Yeah, thank you. So we haven't talked a lot before this, but like just as you were talking a little bit about yourself, I was like, oh, we're gonna be fast friends. So
Ah,
Cancerians definitely love the support of other Cancerians. I often say that I was born to do this work. I have a Cancer sun rising Mercury and Jupiter. So much around the home and nurturing and caring. So I feel the work deeply. I actually didn't start. It's funny because when you said I was a speaker at the National Association, they changed their name, but it used to be Professional Organizers, and so now it's productivity and whatever else, however else they change it. But it used to be Professional Organizers was the um and you had said that's what we all need. And I was like, actually, no.
oh,
We do, right? We crave organization, we crave order. But a lot of times, what organizing does is actually give us permission to keep all of our stuff.
uh,
Be- It's just a way to make it look pretty. It's a way to make it fit. It's a way to make the Tetris puzzle go together. And the way I came to this work was because one, my life lesson is letting go. I quite frankly suck at it.
that's a Cancer lesson.
I'm not good at
Yeah.
it. And so I got into this work actually, um, I was probably in my 30s, late 30s. I had started a career in marketing, which is not what I ever wanted to do, but I was always so hesitant about I wanted to be an interior designer and I was like, am I good enough? I'm not creative enough. So I always had that tape running. So I went and did this marketing career, which really wasn't who intuitively and intrinsically who I am. So I had the opportunity to switch careers late in life,
Mm.
and I became a partner in a small decorating company. And from there, I will say my partner was the creative one, and she did all the pulling the design stuff together, and I was the one who moved the furniture. When she moved out of town, I was like, "I can't do this by myself." So I actually did transition into the professional organizing world because it's where naturally I could just put things in place. But what I was discovering in that process from the decorating company to the organizing is like I could see that people needed to let go of something, but they constantly were like, just make my space look pretty. And there was this inner voice that was like, no, but there's things that I see that you need to let go. But I never knew how to communicate that to people. I never knew how to help them understand that what they were holding on to is holding them back.
Mm.
So I did organizing for a while. I started getting really frustrated. Actually, one of those, those key moments, those core memories was a client looked at me one day and she's like, I am never going to care as much as you do. And I was like, what?
Well,
Like, where did that? Like, and I was like, wow, I do. I'm like trying to control her space. And um, there was just things that she needed to let go, and I was trying to fit everything that she wanted to fit in the space. So from there, I actually, did, some training to be a clutter clearing coach, and then I was spending all this time literally talking people out of their things because I was strictly focusing on the clutter clearing. Um and I was getting frustrated again. So there's this theme of frustration that runs through. And so then I actually studied feng shui as a hobby back in my probably early 30s as I was raising my kids. It was a night class. I was like, "Oh, let me do this."
mhm.
Um, I went back to that. And so I did a full certification and training in feng shui, and all of a sudden I was like, it landed differently.
Mm.
Because what it did is it gave me the tools to see why people are holding on to things. So I
Mm.
approach feng shui a little bit differently than a lot of people do. So a lot of people look at like, and it is about balance and harmony and flow. That's the essence of feng shui. But I'm like, but wait, how can we use it to identify what we're holding on to? How can we use it to go deeper? So that's
Yes.
kind of a long how I got here and how I approach it a little bit differently. Yes, I want to make your house feel good, to have positive energy, and we do that, but you can't feel good in your space. It's like the princess and the pea, right? So your space may look beautiful and you're on this bed, this feather top, bed, but then underneath there's this little pebble that's creating energy that is actually draining you. And so that's my job is to help you find the pebbles that you're laying on.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, it's like taking it from the design or the decorating perspective where it looks nice and even beyond maybe it feels nice, but there's something off about maybe how the relationship of the person is to the space.
Mhm.
And I'm recalling an instance once I was invited many years ago to like a friend's family gathering at a holiday, and we went into this gorgeous, stunning house, expensive, all the right furniture, and I couldn't wait to get out of there because it was dead. It was dead
Yeah.
space. And it was such a I've remembered that for so many years, like, I couldn't ever figure out why it was dead, like, the people were not there. And
Mhm.
so I guess, so what is it? What is feng shui from your perspective, like, the way you practice it?
Yeah, I mean, it is the art and the science of creating balance and flow and harmony in your home. But what I really want to do is I want to align you and your home. I want to create this such a tight synchronicity between the two. so that your home supports you and you support your home. And there's this symbiotic relationship between the two. And I can use the principles of feng shui to help do that. But so that when you walk, like this is my, like, when I close my eyes and I think of this dream, right, is that everybody walks into their home and you feel just embraced by it, right? You feel yourself. So often we do what everybody else thinks we should do, or we think it doesn't matter. Um, but to actually energetically feel this love emanating from your home, because the world is a shit show out there, right? Like it's not great. And I mean, I say this here in 2026. I probably said it in 2018, but now I'm like, but now it really is not
Mhm.
great. But we go out in it and we're just inundated by other people's energies and things that, and so my desire for everyone is that they can come and step back into their home and then be rejuvenated and then loved by their home so they can take that love and go back out in the world instead of coming home and feeling like looking at piles of clutter or just not feeling right or just feeling disconnected from it so that your home becomes this I don't know, this way to rejuvenate.
Yeah, it's a self-care practice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's funny because, as also a hobby astrologer, I'm realizing recently that that is what the Cancerian energy is all about. We go out into that crazy world, we pick up all that energy, we get, nervous system gets fried. We come home, we open the door, and it's like, ah. And the thing is, everyone has something in their chart that, is Cancer. Cancer, the astrological sign. And
Right.
so we all need that experience of home being a safe place to be.
Yeah, and I think even outside of the Cancerian, I think we have always felt it, felt more deeply, but now it's almost like you can't help not to feel, right? You can't unless we're so shut down. Uh,
Mhm.
and so that's the job of our homes too, is to awaken us so that we do feel. And what I do where my magic lies is helping people see how their home mirrors their life because
Mm,
there's a symbiotic relationship, right? And so when I can show you a pattern in your life, how it's showing up in your home, then we can make changes in your home to shift that pattern, right?
mm,
So if there's a pattern of um, relationships and or money are always the easy one go-tos, but let's say you have a pattern of being alone and not in a relationship or relationships not working out, right? If I can show you how that pattern is actually sitting in your home because it does, like everything in the internal, everything happening inside us seeks that outward manifestation, which I'm
mhm.
quoting old philosophers, like that's obviously not from me, but when I can show you that, then together I can show you what to shift in your home to change that pattern. And it can be as easy as um using the relationship example, a lot of singular things. And when I show you, all of a sudden I point out because our homes are so familiar that we don't see it. It's that old adage of you can't read a label from inside the bottle. But when I can show you, oh, you actually have single imagery everywhere in your home,
Mm,
all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, wow, I didn't realize that I have one of everything." And then we can say, "Okay, how can we put pairs of things together? How can we put things together so that you start seeing a different, possibility, right,
yeah,
of connection?" So that's
yeah.
ultimately what work is.
I love that, and, yeah, and I love the fact that, the relationship and the money are the easy places to go, and since we're in a time right now where the economy seems to be, precarious and a lot of people are feeling it, can you give an example of, like, one money corner or, I don't know, one thing that came to you recently about a money update?
Yeah, I'll answer it in 2 ways. First is the very typical traditional people are like, "I want more flow, I want more money in my life." Okay, so for that, we can be super straightforward about this. This is not ultimately where the deeper work lies, and I'm always one to, like, wanna go deeper and deeper and deeper, so that our soul can truly shine, right? That we're not living from our ego self as much. But the obvious is if you're standing at your front door the architectural front door, the door that was designed to be your front door. If you're standing as like you just opened it up, you're looking in your home. That very back left corner of your home is the wealth area. So that is the area associated with your abundance. And not always money, right? You may just say, I don't necessarily need an abundance of money, but I want an abundance of friends or connection or creativity. So, but it's that area that holds the energy of abundance of money. So then you can go to that space and you can say, hey, if this is a metaphor for my wealth, if this is a metaphor for my money, what would it be? A lot of times people will find clutter there or they'll find um, dead things, right? Or broken things, or I'm going to hold on to this just in case because I might need it. And, there's that um, holding on to something from a place of lack, right? Because I may never get it again. So I have to keep this broken thing. So when you look at that space, so think of your home divided into a tic-tac-toe board. And that back left little gua, we call it, is that wealth area. So once you know that metaphor, then you can say, well, how can I shift it? How can I make this space feel abundant to me? If I have a dead plant, I'm releasing it and putting a thriving plant. If I have something that's broken, I'm letting it go. If I have piles of clutter, I'm clearing them up. That's the obvious. The not so obvious is that sometimes there's something that happens before we have financial um, constriction. Sometimes it's because we have a belief system that got passed down from our family.
Mm.
Sometimes it's because it's our own um, perception of ourselves. And so somebody may have a beautiful wealth area of their home, but yet there's something else that has to shift.
Mm.
That's kind of the magic of going in and backtracking into it. And I can give you a quick example. I had a client once and she said she was an entrepreneur and she said, hey, my money's like, it needs to flow. It's not happening. So I come in and I look at the wealth area of her home, and it happened to be a guest bedroom. Her partner had just moved in. They had just moved in together, and all of her partner's stuff was in this room. She couldn't touch any of it, right? It was their stuff. So then it's like, what do you do? If this is a space that I don't have control of, what do you do? So I'm listening to the conversation as she's talking about their relationship. I was like, kind of feels a little not quite balanced. So then we go and look at the relationship area of their home, which is the back right corner. When I look at the relationship area of the home, they had things that one was really big, one was really small.
Oh.
Hands did the opposite. One was really small, one was really big. What it was were those metal stars, those like decorative stars
Mm.
that sometimes you see hanging. So they had
Mhm.
the small one and then they had the really big one. That was in the relationship area.
Oh.
From a feng shui perspective in the relationship area, when we want a relationship of equal partners, we want balance and things they don't have to be identical, but similar in size or stature.
Mhm.
So then we talked about how one felt like they had a louder voice than the other. So from there, I was like, well, this is interesting. So now as the conversation continued, let's go to the other opposite area of your home, which is known as inner knowledge, your personal awareness, your personal development. When we got there, it happened to be their bedroom. She had a painting on the wall. And a lot of times when I'm doing this work, something just kind of pops in that I'm like, often say it's like Sesame Street. One of these things doesn't
Just
belong
pop
to the
on.
other. It just doesn't fit, right? I'm like, something's like,
Mhm.
hey, tell me about this painting. She's like, oh, my ex painted that. So
Oh.
she woke up in the morning. When she went to bed, what she was staring at was a painting that her ex had painted, not just bought, but had their energy was into it. So then I could ask the question, what did you have in that relationship that you don't have in your current relationship? Because for some subconscious, because this is all subconscious, we don't do this purposely.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, what are you holding on to from your past relationship that you're not getting right now? Then she could tease apart the answer to that question. So that was why the wealth area wasn't actually where to start because she didn't even have control of it.
Mhm.
Where the real work really was in that inner knowledge area. And when she was able to do that, Um, she texted me after that and she's like, "You're never gonna believe it. My partner got rid of stuff. That room got cleared. I was able to make my office that space and just so much shifted in her life."
Wow. Wow. I mean, I get chills listening to these. It's really powerful stuff that for me, why it feels so potent is that it's a tangible practice of working with intangible energies,
Mm.
and a lot of people who are not familiar with working with energy are reluctant to because they're like, well, where is it? Show me the energy, and some people can feel it and some people can't, but it doesn't mean that they can't benefit from it. And so, what you seem to be doing is taking that intermediate step to invite people into that energy play, to be able to play with the energy by saying, "Look, there's that thing. You can look at it, you can touch it, you can, move it, and then you'll move the energy." I
And
love it.
and I do believe that we can all feel it. I think it's a practice.
Mhm.
It's like when, with yoga, right? Like it's the practice of showing up at the mat on the mat, right?
Mhm.
Going back and showing up. And then you start to feel your body because so many of us are like, I don't know how I feel. It's the same way in our home, right? Because we're in feng shui, we have yin energy and yang energy, right? The yin is the feminine, the yang is the masculine. And we operate so often from that yang, that yang of just like do, 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 do. And then we don't feel our bodies, right? Because we just tune out because we're so conditioned that we have to push harder that we shut down. It's the same thing in our homes. But when we start to settle in and be quieter, and we can start feeling the energy in our homes. And so that's when I can help people like, let's just move this. And how do you feel? Let's
Mm,
move that. How do you feel? And then you start connecting with it more.
mhm. Yeah, fantastic. So, how can you give people like a very simple takeaway practice that they could do today?
Um,
Even if it's just an awareness practice.
10 ideas pop in at once, and I'm like, which one do I want?
Mhm.
So I'm going to give you just a couple of things. Different people resonate with different things, right? One is ask yourself, what area of my house am I avoiding?
Mm.
Right? Or what don't I like? That has a message for you, right? There's some, and I can help you tease that out more, but it's just a good, like, where do I not go in my home?
Mm.
What and then what can I change to actually bring myself into that space? And I wanna say there's no bad spaces, right? Your garage is not bad. Your bathroom is not bad. People are always like, "Where should I put my paper cutter? Where should I put my garbage?" I'm like, "Where it makes sense." Right?
Mm.
Like, where do you need a garbage can? Like, so
Mhm.
don't ever lose your mind with this. But that's one. It's just kind of like, what am I avoiding and what change can I make that I actually wanna inhabit? I wanna be in this space more.
Mm.
So that's one idea.
Mhm.
Um, Another idea to ask yourself is how if a friend, if my best friend were to come to my home, like they haven't been there before. Let's say you moved, and they're coming to your home and you're not there and they don't know it's your home actually, and they walked in, would they know it's your home?
Mm.
Right? Can Is your personality expressed in your home?
Mhm.
And sometimes it's hard to say, like, "Can I see myself in my home?" But just think if your best friend walked in, would they be like, "Oh, yeah, this is totally you.
Mhm.
I knew it was your house. You didn't even have to tell me that was your house."
Right.
But I think that's a good, like,
Yeah.
and that's where, like, sometimes design, we listen to other people, we listen to the trends, "We should do this, we should do that." I'm like, "No, like, listen to your heart. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want?" Um Clutter gets a bad rap, right? And it's defined differently. But it's anything that we don't love, need, or use. You can have a collection of elephants, and somebody might walk in and be like, "You shouldn't have so much clutter. You have too many tchotchkes." If you love them, it's not clutter. Um,
Mhm.
and the last thing I would say is your front door is the mouth of chi. So this
Mm.
is probably the most tangible. It is the mouth of chi. It is where energy comes into your door and into your home, right? So we want energy to flow in and we want it to like nicely drift through your home and nourish all the spaces. So a practice to do that you can do today is look at your front door. Is there anything obstructing or any reason why the energy doesn't want to come in? So think of a flower and think of a bee. Is this flower vibrant? Is it bright? Does a bee want to come to this flower? Or
Mm.
are there dead plants? Are there cobwebs? Are there Amazon boxes that you can't fully open your door? Look around that space both inside and outside your door. How can it more how can it be that attractive? Like think of energy as courting, right? Like you're courting this energy to come in. I want to play with it. So what can you do? Do you need a new welcome mat? Do you need a fresh coat of paint? Like, do you just need to shake out your welcome mat? Um, do you have windows that you need to Windex? You just kind of
Yeah.
look at the area.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so first one is what area of your home are you avoiding and how can you make it so that you want to spend time there?
Mhm.
Second one is if your best friend came in and you weren't there, would they know it's your home? Put yourself in your home. And
Mhm.
then the third one is allow the front door, which is the mouth of chi, to be able to flow in unobstructed and make it an inviting place like that the chi wants to come into. I love that. And you said something, shoot, now I'm going to forget it, but you said something else brilliant, but we'll catch it in the notes. So, yeah, wow, so helpful. And I love how you break it down into bite sized pieces for people and just, yeah, so people can start to develop a relationship with their home, and which means a deeper relationship with yourself.
Exactly. I was talking to, I had a guy coming for some landscaping. We needed to do some drainage. And I was telling him what I do. And he's like, oh, it's alignment. Like, this was just like 20 something year old guy. And he's like, you're just aligning your home and yourself. And I was like, yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, the other thing, if you don't need it, love it, or use it. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
If you don't
So
need it, love it, use
clutters,
it.
yeah, if clutter is designed as if you don't love it, if you don't need it, if you don't use it, and don't shame yourself for it. Clutter acts as protection. And sometimes there are things that we need protection from, right? And it could be old stuff, it could be trauma. And then we'll start like weight, like extra weight. It's something that we bring around ourselves to comfort ourselves. So give yourself grace. It's why when somebody comes into a hoarding situation, if you take everything away suddenly,
Mhm.
that's detrimental, right?
Yes.
If you do too much too fast.
Yes. I love your sensitivity around the process too. So, yeah, I would, my gosh, I would love for you. Oh, and I didn't tell you either. You mentioned somewhere that I heard that you had a dream of living in Colorado.
I do.
Well, I live in Colorado, so you should come to my home and we can do
Where
something.
where in Colorado are you?
I'm in southern Colorado, conveniently located in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
I'm about a half a mile north of the Great Sand Dunes National Monument in a high alpine valley, just north of the New Mexico border.
Oh.
And yeah, it's lovely. And yeah, I'd love to have you come out
Oh,
and
yeah.
help me with my home one day.
I have, a couple other clients in Colorado. I think if I keep saying it, I will build up this,
There you
like,
go.
mastery of Coloradoans, and come out and do a little
Yes.
road trip.
Yeah, wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll keep in touch about that. But meanwhile, where can people find you and what do you have going on where people can learn more?
Yeah, so, you can find everything on my website, which is spacedoula.com. So space and then doula.com. 2 things on there that you can get to. One is my Substack publication. So if you're watching this on Substack, you're already there. But I write a publication called The Intentional Home. I publish an article every Friday, which always has tips and stories. I always come down to the practical. I don't ever lose that piece of it. And then I have a paid subscription on Substack, and that I do a monthly live class, and then I do a quarterly challenge, like Kim mentioned. So those are for paid subscribers. And then the other thing on my website that you can get to is a quiz. The quiz is super fun. So it's spacedoula.com/quiz. And that's going to ask you a series of fun questions, and it's going to identify the area of your home that most needs zhuzhing, like the area that you just need to add a little pixie dust to, so or the area of your life, right? So the questions take you through life questions and say, okay, this is the area of my life that most could stand a change, a shift. And then the quiz results are going to tell you where in your home to make a change in order to support that change in your life. So it's a free quiz. You will get emails after it. That's a fair warning. I think there's 4 or 5 just kind of following up with the results. And then you can find other stuff. You can find out how to work together one-on-one. I do one-on-ones. I have a group program. I have a membership, all fun stuff, but it's all on my
And
website.
can you work online? Can you do home? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have clients everywhere from Australia to a block from my house.
Fantastic. I love it. And how joyful that you've created this offering from all these different stages of your development, and that you've arrived at this place that it's clear that suits you and that you enjoy. So
I do. I do have a program, and I offer it 3 times a year. So it's currently going on. I'll run it again in September, and I think I have 1 spot left. But we
Mhm.
go through this, it's called hierarchy, and we go through the process of decluttering and organizing and cleaning and feng shui. It's like my entire background kind of it's super fun. It's super
I
cool.
love it. I may be in touch about that spot.
Oh, let me know. I would love to have you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Well, thank you
mm,
so much for joining. Thank you, everyone who joined with us. Check out Dorina's Substack post, The Intentional Home, or not post, publication, and check out her website, Space Doula. And yeah, and thank you again for taking the time to share your expertise with us and to, yeah, just be here. It's been a joy speaking with you.
thank you. You too.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Bye.